I mean, what a fantastic, what a gift that was. Wasn't it? Wasn't it amazing?
Oh, his interview.
His interview, man.
I enjoyed it. It
I
was
really
long.
enjoyed it.
He talked a lot.
He talked a lot.
Shannon was just like sitting there, like
Shannon couldn't believe his eyes, dude. Shannon was like, dude, is it the Hennessy or are you're not fueled by anything, bro? At this point,
I remember there was a before before they started talking, Shannon was like, "You were like already off the cognac."
Yeah.
And then later on in the podcast, he's like, "I am like always of the right mind," you know.
Dude,
like,
well, I mean,
never
he came in
He
heated.
didn't say that, but
Yeah, he came in heated. He came in absolutely heated. Let's talk about this, okay? I do want to talk about the Katt Williams thing because Spencer, should we be surprised about anything that he said? Any of this stuff that he talked about Kevin Hart, about all these guys that he talked about. Should we be surprised about it?
I don't know if we should be surprised, but I was surprised.
You were
I wasn't
surprised?
expecting any of it, you know.
Why were you surprised?
I don't care about those guys that much. There's things I'm just not thinking about.
Yeah.
Daily.
Nobody thinks about
It
stuff
was
like
just out of left field.
Yeah.
For Katt to be like, you know.
I don't think it's necessarily
Dropping
out of the
bombs on
left
these
field from Katt to say something like that. Because Katt's been going through this for such a long time. I'm a Katt Williams. I consider myself a person who pays attention to Katt Williams. Am I a Katt Williams fan? No. Because Katt has a very strong fan base that I'm not it. Okay? And I'm going to explain how. 2012, I'm going to say, Katt Williams was out here in Orange County, California, and he was performing. And do you know how I know from it? Was that I came to notice that he's in town from a person who's attending. You understand?
Someone was already going.
Yeah, someone was already going. The man brings his own audience. He has his own fan base.
Well, yeah. He has a kind of a niche crowd there.
That's legit one of the reasons why he has you money. Because he gets to do whatever he wants, however he wants, and nobody gets to say shit to him because he doesn't owe anybody anything.
Does he have money?
He has go yourself money.
That's like Kevin Hart, though.
Okay.
That's go yourself money. What's Kevin Hart level?
Kevin is so rich. Kevin is so rich that he cannot spend all of his money the way he wants to. Kevin Hart is so rich. Kevin Hart is a brand rich.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Katt Williams is his own man rich.
Yeah, you can go to Irvine.
He's a self-made millionaire type of thing.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Kevin Hart is so rich, he can't even spend his money the way he wants to. That's how rich this guy is.
Okay, so he's past money.
Oh, he's way past you money.
Yourself money.
To the point that I'm yours money.
Yeah.
I'm owed to someone else type of money.
He's of the people now.
Yeah. But I mean,
influence
dude, I mean, because like the thing I wanted to talk to you about is because one of the things that you and I, other than sports, other than, you know, girls, other than other stuff in life that we have in common, one of the things that you and I strongly have in common is our love for arts. And one of the things that I think Katt Williams was sort of pointing at was the fact that we're sort of okay with our art to be tampered with. And for losers to mention that they're winners. That was a problem. And that artificial intelligence, intellectual property, not artificial intelligence, intellectual property and intellectual property theft is a up thing to do. I mean, and none of the things that Katt Williams talked about were things that we weren't aware of from before. For example, Carlos Mencia, he stole jokes from Joe Rogan. And we all saw how Joe was beating the drums to get that guy what he deserved. Okay? All I'm saying is
When did that happen?
that happened. Oh,
But when did that happen?
that
sounds kind of familiar, but
yeah. I think that was like in the mid-teens, 2000 teens, when Joe Rogan was sort of like coming out saying like, listen, there are people who are stealing jokes. And there are people who are stealing jokes in my face. And they consistently do it, and nobody says anything to them. And so, I mean, Joe has a platform that he's able to basically get his message out and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But when someone like Katt Williams, when he continuously gets blackballed, when he continuously gets to say, hey, listen, this is another man who hates more successful men. And come on, cut the BS. Cut the BS. We are all watching what's happening. We all know what's happening. This has been happening for a long, long time.
Yeah. He brought some light to it. It was nice.
Yeah. Joke stealing has been something that's been going on.
I mean, honestly, I rarely noticed though.
Yeah,
When it
I
does
didn't know
happen,
either.
I rarely noticed when that stuff
Yeah.
happens.
But like, I mean, I seriously didn't know anything about this. To the point that like, I don't pay attention to Cedric, the entertainer, to the point to know that he steals jokes. I pay attention to Katt Williams.
Yeah, I mean, Cedric's time is past, I feel like. He's what? Does he even have a show anymore? Who knows? He's probably on BET if it does exist.
We have a section in this show that we have the cemetery. We have a list of people who are in the cemeteries and some of the people who aren't in the cemetery. I didn't even know Cedric wasn't in the cemetery list. You understand what I thought he passed away a long time ago. I am not a fan of Cedric the Entertainer. I do not know the man. I don't watch his comedy. I have never, ever watched anything and said, Cedric the Entertainer is a great, great, great comedian. I should rewatch that shit again. I've never done that.
I mean, yeah, he's not like a very like in the scene kind of guy. I feel like he's like
For a guy,
underground
listen,
down there.
for a guy who's been doing this for 30-something years and having no range, oof.
I mean, I feel like I don't know if we can talk about Cedric just because he was like
Okay, let's talk about Kevin Hart.
He was before our time.
Let's
you
talk
know?
about, okay, fine. Kevin Hart has been my time.
Kevin
Hart, without any doubt, one of the funniest men that ever performed during my lifetime. He is one of the funniest men I've ever heard. He's hilarious.
He's hilarious, yeah.
He is one of the funny. No. He's not hilarious. He's one of the funniest men. I mean, he went on a run, 3 back-to-back up until what's next. He put out gold, like
his stand-ups.
absolutely perfect stand-ups. I mean, perfect jokes, perfect stand. Amazing comedian. One of the greatest comedians ever.
No, yeah, I remember he has one stand-up at like, Shaquille O'Neal used to have like some sort of like stand-up like event or whatever. And he like closed it out and it was hilarious.
I mean, yeah,
some
the one,
ridiculous
Shaq all-star comedy thing.
Yeah.
Ariel
All-star
Spears
comedy.
was there. Funny enough, Katt Williams,
Spears.
Katt Williams was in the audience for that show.
Really?
Katt Williams was in the audience for that show. He got a standing ovation when they mentioned that he's in the audience.
Respect.
He's been doing this.
Katt's
been doing this for a long time. I can't believe these people go after him. I cannot believe. Like, this is the true definition of around and find out. Oh, your time will come. Just wait.
I mean, did you watch not to go too far away from Kevin, I guess, but did you watch the previous Shannon Sharp interviews? I didn't watch any of them.
No.
So they were talking about he was talking about things that were said, and I was like,
Yeah.
I need to watch these.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there were some references from previous episodes and stuff. I completely understand that. Like, there are a lot of stuff that because Cat is a love, like his love for the game, whether it's podcasting, whether it's for his love for entertainment overall is beyond just comedy or a student of comedy or an actor. You understand? Like he loves all of it. And I see that passion in his face, right? But let's just for a second, let's talk about Kevin Hart for a second.
Shout out,
Why are you surprised that he's a setup? Why? How do you not know? I mean, Patrice used to talk about this all the time. He used to talk about how Kevin Hart is a sellout. How I'll tell you who else is a sellout. And here's a shocker. He hosted the Golden Globes a couple of days ago, and he bombed because he had to write his own material. Joe Coy is in that list.
Oh yeah, Joe Coy. I didn't really know who he was
He's a
until that happened.
sellout. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he plays the game in a way.
How is he a sellout?
Okay, he's a sellout in that
I mean, I don't know
he's
enough about
willing
him,
to
but-
say. I mean, you really have to listen to Patrice, like explaining it. I'm not going to do as good as justice as he does, but he talks about how in Hollywood, if you want to continuously feed the beast that the Hollywood is, you have to play some of the games that you really should be questioning your morality before doing it. But a lot of these people, they're willing to, violate their standards faster that they can lower it. You understand what I'm saying? They violate it faster that they can actually bring their standards down. So in a lot of ways, like Joe Coy is willing to do stuff, say stuff, tell jokes that aren't necessarily funny, but gets cheap laughs. And as a comedian,
That's like most people.
yes,
That's like most hosts are like.
That's the difference between greats like Carlin, like Patrice O'Neal, like Dave Chappelle, and others. The difference is that for a comedian, and this is all art, it's not just comedy, but comedy is the easiest form of art that can actually do this. But art, the goal of art, why we pay attention, why you and I consume art, is because art has the ability to push the boundaries and tell people, this is the boundary, right? This is where we're setting the boundary. An artist's job, the job of an artist is to grab the audience and show them the line. And then grab the audience, hold their hands, and cross the line together. Stand there for a second.
I can see that, yeah.
And explain to them, that's the line that we don't cross. And look how uncomfortable we are at this side of the line, right? Now, here's the most important part about the job of an audience.
You gotta make it make sense, though.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got to make it sense. You got to make it relatable. You got to make it all of that. But you got to establish where the line is. Push the boundary, and then bring the audience back to their seat and sit them down and say, that's the line. That's why we don't cross it. It's messed up to cross the line. Don't ever cross it. That's the job of an artist. A comedian is the most simple form of absolutely accomplishing that goal.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay?
I agree, yeah.
And so when you're tampering with this important job, and being an artist is an important job, although some of them don't get paid as well as they should. Most of them don't get paid as well as they should.
Most, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the job is important enough that we need them in our lives.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, don't mess with my art, man. Don't mess with my art. And a lot of these people putting phony stuff out there, putting stuff that you and I clearly can see through.
Yeah, I mean, that's always existed, though, you know.
Yeah, but to this extent,
especially these days, it's I mean, you know, yeah, art just being made just to get views. It's just,
dude, Like,
It's at an all-time high right now.
yeah. I feel like we live in a world that's so misinterpreted on so many different levels, on so many different things.